And I'll go ahead and do prayer and we'll start about eye health. Yeah. Namami Dhanvantari Madidevam Surasurairvandita Padapadmam Loke Jararugbayamrutyunasham Dhataramisham Vividhaushadhinam Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Right, so welcome again, everybody. We'll talk about eye health. So this week, we were talking about eye health on my social media. So I thought that I'll talk about the same here because it's very important. And, we're seeing a lot of different conditions that are emerging on eye health. So I thought that it's a good idea to talk about eye health and how to take care of them. Hi, Debanti. Good to see you. iPhone 6. So sorry, I want to know who this is, just to know, just to make sure that we have someone that we know here.
That's me, Manju Surinder.
Oh, okay, okay. And Namaste, Surinderji. Thank you for joining.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you for joining. Good. So, for those of you that have been attending, you know that we spoke about Vata, Pitta, and Kapha very much, and you have an idea of how it is there. You know how Vata is affecting our body, how Pitta is affecting, and how Kapha is affecting. So now eyes, they are a combination of two doshas. For those of you that have been attending my classes, may I ask you to guess what two doshas they are? The combination of two doshas. That's what eyes are made up of.
Pitta and Kapha.
Very good. 10 on 10. Good job, Debanti, because ever since the beginning, I knew that you would be answering. Yes, it is Pitta and Kapha. So it is a combination of both heat and water element, right? So there's a balance of both. Chakshush tejomayam, right? That's the way you're able to see. You're able to, you're getting that sense. The organ is present, eye is an organ, but because of the pitta that is present, the alochaka pitta that is present, it will be able to understand the image and tell us that this is Debanti sitting here, this is Chitra sitting here. I'm getting all of that information from that. And this is the pitta that is, because it's a transformational energy, and that's the pitta that is present. However, it is also a very, very delicate organ. And because it is a delicate organ, it is covered by many what we call patalas in Ayurveda. Many layers are present before you can even go into that tejo nature, because before you can even go into that pitta nature. Right? So these patalas are a combination of different kaphas. Right? The water element that is present is in your eye as well. And that is protecting so that your tejas nature, your pitta, is not burning, and it is actually allowing you to see. If this kapha is too much than what you can handle, that is when you see layers that are present on the eye. I know for those of you that are attending for the first time, it might be very difficult, especially for you, Chitran, saying that I'm using terminology called kapha, I'm using terminology pitta. But kapha is this water element that is present in the body. And if that's too much than what is necessary in the eye, that's when it stays in the body as accumulation. And that accumulation can be seen as floaters. in the beginning, or that accumulation can be seen as blurry vision in the beginning. And that accumulation later on, when it becomes, there's layers and layers and layers that are formed, then it becomes thicker and thicker and thicker. That's when a cataract can be formed. And that's when people say that, when you get into 70s or 80s, and if aging is when you see a cataract, because this is accumulation of doshas, accumulation of unnecessary things happening again and again and again, and they are drying out. There's a layer which is dried out, another layer dried out, another layer dried out. Now it becomes a thick layer which is dried out, which is not budging. And that's when a cataract is formed, right? So understanding the importance of the heat element and the water element, the balance of both of these is what our eyes are. And the most important thing that is mentioned in Ayurveda is chakshushleshmato bhayam, which means eyes are fearful of kapha. If there is excessive kapha, that's why eyes are fearful. What is that one dinacharya technique that can be done so that you're not accumulating this kapha on a daily basis? There are two, actually, 3, 4, but I'll ask you to tell me what is that one that comes to your mind that you can do on a daily basis as a dinacharya that you're not accumulating kapha, especially in your eyes.
Splashing of water.
Splashing of water. Splashing of water is actually cooling element, remember? Because water has that cooling nature. And that cooling nature is allowing for you not to accumulate excessive heat. So you're not, watching your screens or anything like that. Splashing of water is more for that. But it does not allow you to remove daily accumulation of kapha.
Can it be ghee at night?
Ghee at night is also more of lubrication. It also is for reducing pitta. It's
But
not
Nasya?
for removing excessive kapha. We are talking about removal.
What about Nasya?
Absolutely. 10 on 10. Nasya is something that removes unwanted mucus that is present in the upper part. Debanti is a star student. She's answering all the questions properly. So all this excessive accumulation of mucus that is present in this area, if you do Nasya, for those of you who does not know what Nasya is you're going to be applying, instilling 2 to 3 drops or even 4 drops of oil, which is especially Anutailam, is something that is very, very generic that you can use. I'm going to type it here for those of you that would not know what this is. But you're going to be instilling the drops, and excessive mucus that is present in this area can be removed on a daily basis. So this accumulation is not happening, and you don't have to worry about it at the end. You're not, looking at it at the end. You're taking care of it on a daily basis. Another very important technique that you can do on a daily basis is called Anjana. Anjana is made out of some caustic herbs, and a paste is made, a black paste is made, and you can apply it, it's like kajal. For those of you who know what kajal means, it is the same thing, but it is made out of Ayurvedic herbs. And these herbs, when you apply it, there's a little bit of watering that happens in your eyes. That is also melting your excessive kapha. And this Anjana is known to apply it on a daily basis as well. That is something that you can apply in the night.
Does Ayurveda do this treatment?
Anjana treatment is not necessary, Jayadidi. You can absolutely get Anjana. Tup Anjana is something that's available. Or I recently found one in Amazon, actually. It was available, Anjana eyeliner. You can just get an eyeliner and you can just apply it, just in your lower eyelids, and it's done. I've been using that and I've been liking it. Last time when I went to India, I actually got it with a silver applicator. this is how it's told in the textbook, and they've made it. And I just take with a silver applicator and apply it under my eyes, and that's something that I use as well. But whatever is possible for you, proper anjana is something that you can apply in the night.
Hmm.
And another important thing that you can do, again, these are all the things that you're doing to remove excessive water accumulation. Another thing that we also spoke about is called Kavala Graha, which is holding of oil in your mouth. It's oil holding more than oil pulling. You're going to be holding your oil until a lot of water gets accumulated, and you actually will feel tears coming out your eyes because of the excessive mucus that comes out. It's called Kavala Graha. That is also another Dinacharya method that you can do. Right? So these are mainly the three things that I would ask you to do, especially for your eyes purpose as a Dinacharya, for removing excess of your kapha that is present. Yeah. Now, just like Jai Didi has mentioned earlier, she was talking about ghee in the night. That is also something that you can apply. Ghee in the night is something that you do for your pitta, right? And for this, you can just get cow ghee, proper fresh A2 ghee is okay. And you apply 2 drops, melt them, and you instill 2 drops into your each eye before you go to bed. And this, you will wake up lubricated. Now, before you do this, you have to make sure what is excessive. Is pitta excessive or kapha excessive? And you have to take care of it accordingly. Because if kapha is more and you're applying ghee in the night, then your kapha will even increase, right?
Mm.
So all of these dinacharya methods are given for a swastha person, considering that person is normal and they are not suffering from any imbalances. That is what it's given for. But if you are suffering from any imbalance, then you want to make sure that you are striking a balance. You cannot be saying that, okay, this dinacharya is given, I want to be applying it. Then it's going to backfire. So if there's excessive kapha and that, how would you know? You will notice that there's probably blurry vision. And you notice that when you wake up in the morning, there is a little bit of congestion that you experience as well. And you notice that you're probably snoring a little bit. There is a little bit of accumulation that is present here. Maybe postnasal drip. All of this is present. Then you know that your kapha is more. Then you would want to follow things that would reduce kapha in the body, or reduce kapha in the what we call, this is called Urdhva Jatru region. And that is what you want to follow. If you're experiencing dryness, redness, burning, all of this is present, then you would want to mellow down and lubricate your eyes. Then you want to follow the ghee in the eyes before you go to bed. Yeah, again, very important for you to remember that these are all general guidelines that I'm giving you, and you have to apply it according to what is necessary for your own self. Yeah. So that is about pitta and kapha that is present. Devanti, before the end of the session, I'm going to be giving you the link. I just ordered it a few weeks ago. I'm going to
Can
give
you-
that to you as well.
Can I have the link as well?
Absolutely. I'm going to just put it here so
Okay.
that everybody can have it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another important thing, it is better for us to know what not to do than what to do, right? For protecting your eyes. Yeah. So the most important thing that is told is when you're showering, you have to protect your sense organs. Yeah. And eye is the most important. Sarvendriyanam nayanam pradhanam. Eye is the most important thing out of all the sense organs. So, when you're showering, for those of you that attended the Dinacharya class, What is the temperature of water that you have to shower with? I'm not asking you in centigrade or Fahrenheit, but you can tell me, hot, cold, is it ice cold baths, warm? What is it that we have to use?
Lukewarm.
Lukewarm. Good. Lukewarm, and you can use warm also, but from your neck and below is all warm things. And you can use a little bit of hot if you want to, if you're a Vata personality or a Kapha personality. However, neck and above, very important to use room temperature only, because your senses are always protected. And if you use excessive heat in this area, you're going to be removing that protection. So very important when you're doing a head shower, do not use hot water. Do not stand under the shower which has hot water. That itself, you would have done a lot of favor for your eyes. Yeah. And do not be, if you're using a sauna, if right after your exercise, or if you have a sauna, I would prefer that you cover your eyes with maybe rose water patches, close your eyes and sit in a sauna that way, or even on your head, I would say get a cloth and pour some water and put it on your scalp and put on your eyes as well, so that both of them are not exposed to heat. Very important not to expose, because this is something that a lot of us do. We go into the sauna and we sit in there. And I was told that in some of the places you pay a lot. I had one client that came in. He said that he was sitting for 5 hours because they said that it is a fat burning technique. They're selling it as a fat burning technique, it seems. And he was doing, and it's a subscription. He was subscribing for it, and he was like, okay, I paid so much, so let me use maximum. And he was doing 5 hours a day. Imagine what's going to happen to your sense organs. So very important to protect them. Do not expose yourself, do not expose your senses to heat. Especially when you're cooking, if you're doing a lot of fried things, and when you're cooking, very important afterwards, if you're cooking excessively, then afterwards you have to make sure that you are cooling your eyes with rose water pads, cucumber, or putting, like cooling things into your eyes. Very, very important. Yeah. And not sleeping in the day as well, because sleeping in the day, the naps, especially during winters and spring, is going to increase both Pitta and Kapha. And we want to make sure that we're balancing. Yeah. And I see that Sridevi ji was looking at Ravi ji when I don't know if he is doing that, because I observe everything that's happening. For those of you that are turning your cameras off, I don't know what's happening there, but those of you who has turned it on, then I know what's happening there already. So you don't want to sleep during the day. Very, very important. Napping during the day increases your Pitta and Kapha, so you want to protect it. But summers, and especially if you're over 65, you can nap during the day, but only on an empty stomach. You want to make sure that you eat your food, you eat your lunch at 12, you're digesting by 2, and you can sleep, you can take a nap at 2. Or another alternative is you can sit up and you can take a nap for 20 minutes. You can sit on a sofa and you can take a nap for 20 minutes. That's another alternative as well. Yeah, because summers, you're tired, there's lots of heat, and you want to protect yourself also. So these are some alternatives that are given. But in general, sleeping during the day, sometimes people are like my son is like, it's summer, mom, and he wouldn't sleep until 2 in the night. And then right after lunch, he wants to take a nap so that he can stay up in the night because he wants to be cool with his friends. Right? That is not allowed. That is really not allowed. But of course, that's what he wants to do. So that is one thing. and excessive smoking. If you're smoking, there's a lot, even secondhand smoke, exposing to secondhand smoke or excessive smoking, we spoke about is exposing yourself to excessive heat. Yeah. And exposure to excessive heat or sun is also not a good idea. These are the main things that I would say. Now, those are mainly lifestyle. If we talk about food, what is one important thing that is going to be affecting your eyes? Or what is one no when it comes to food? This is something that I talk about a lot. Now, eyes, the layer of eyes is dependent on one tissue. We spoke about 7 tissues. One of the tissues is connected with the layer of your eyes, layer of your skin, and the lubrication of the feces. That one tissue is your majja dhatu, which is your bone marrow. The stronger your bone marrow is, the better your bone marrow is, the better there is lubrication of your eyes, the better there's lubrication of your skin, and proper lubrication of your stool as well. Now, there's one food habit that is going to vitiate your bone marrow. What is that food habit?
Cold salads.
Yes, to an extent.
Mm,
Majja dhatu. What is one incorrect thing that we do, that we eat, that's going to vitiate the majja dhatu, which is your bone marrow?
Stale, leftover.
Stale foods is also something, correct?
Non-unctuous food.
Yes, to an extent, because you're right. Yes, because we want lubrication. You're getting there. Incompatible food combination. That is going to affect your bone marrow directly. It is written in the textbook that because incompatible food combination affects your bone marrow directly, and this is going to affect the lubrication of your eyes, skin, and your feces. Right? Now, I hope that you all know what the incompatible food combinations are. What are they?
Fish and milk.
Correct?
Fruit with anything else.
Fruit with anything else, Devanti is like, okay, I know I shouldn't eat fruit with anything else. That's true. Then
Mm,
you thought I was teaching.
Salt and milk.
Salt and milk. Who said this?
Bhamini.
Bhamini. Okay, good. Salt and milk, correct. So do we add salt to milk? Is that what we do? How do we consume this? What is it that we consume?
Like
that
paneer,
correct? Cheese,
cream. Yeah.
paneer, and even your the cereals that we eat, cereal has salt in it, milk and cereal. Bread has salt in it if you're taking milk and bread together. These are all incompatible food combinations. So we have to be very careful about that. If you eat that for a long period of time, that can affect your eyes as well. Now, if you go back and look at the amount of, yes, Srideviji.
Eating fruit after a meal, is that not allowed? Is that incompatible?
Along with your meal is
Ah.
not incompatible, but your fruit will not be digested and it can cause fermentation.
And like fruit with some kind of like a milkshake or something is obviously no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So something like
Thank
a
you.
fruit smoothie with kale is like not okay. But if it was just fruit blended with some like, soy milk or something, is that okay?
It is okay. It is not an incompatible food combination, Chitra. However, I did not finish my answer. However, it is heavy and it is cold. And that heavy and cold nature is going to increase indigestion still. And that in turn is going to be affecting your eyes also in long term. So it does not directly cause it, but it will in a long run. It is not an incompatible food combination though. So it all depends on if you're an athlete and if you are a marathon runner and if you have a lot of digestive fire, then absolutely you can do that. But if you're not, and if you have a desk job all the time, then that's going to be a problem.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Now going back to incompatible food combination and our increase in kids using glasses these days. Unfortunately, in the name of wanting good calories, pediatricians do recommend lots of cheese when kids are growing. And kids are given smoothies as well. Cold milk along with cereal is a staple food that is given. Cheese is added with many things. And this is one of the reasons for why we're seeing increase in eyesight problems, especially in kids. So that is something that we have to pay attention to. Again, I'm not going to debate and I'm not going to say that this is outright wrong. That's not what I'm going to say, but that's something that we have to pay attention to, correlate to how we're seeing rise in, sight problems that we're seeing with kids, especially. Yeah. Now, what are all the things that kids should follow? So that I know I've had a question that these are all the questions that were asked in the in my social media when I posted that, can nearsightedness be reversed? So it can be, and this is called Timira in Ayurveda. Timira is one of the condition that is mentioned. And now we spoke about layers. We spoke that there are 5 layers that are present that protect your eyes. Now what's going on? You eat improper food. This is undigested. And this undigested food becomes your dosha, which is not helping you. This dosha goes and resides in one of the layers of your eyes. If it is in the superficial layer, then it is reachable. You're able to access it and you're able to reverse it by removing that doshas by a technique called detox methods. And Ayurveda has many detox methods, especially Virechana, which is creating loose stools. Again, that you cannot do unless you go to a qualified physician. You cannot be doing it at home yourself. However, what you can do at home is make sure that the child is not experiencing constipation, that the child is going to potty every day. This is something when parents come, I ask them, and a lot of time parents are not even aware. They ask the child and the child is like, I go once in 3 days. They're like, what, really? You never told me. Because we never ask. So these are all the questions that we should ask as well. And we have to make sure that we give food in such a way that proper stool is being created. If loose stool is not even necessary, if it goes to a next level, then you can go to an Ayurvedic physician and you can make sure that these toxins are being removed. But raisins are the most important thing. You can give them just raisin water. Like take 1 fistful of raisins in 2 cups of water, boil till 1 cup remains, squeeze this, filter, and give that raisin water in the night if there is constipation for a child. And this is in general going to be okay, where you're creating a loose stool, and that is going to be beneficial for them. And you will absolutely notice that eyesight gets better. That's one thing. Number 2, making sure that when they're watching screen, they're using that screen protecting glasses. Those glasses are very, very important. They can use that. Number 3, helping them so that they're using proper lighting also. I see a lot of kids, they're like squinting and seeing small print and everything, making sure that they are using proper lighting and proper print as well. And you also want to make sure, of course, you're not giving them any incompatible food combination, and you're not giving them, especially sprouts. Again, I'm telling you things that we give as something that would help but can cause problems, right? Sprouted foods have latent heat in them. So you want to make sure that you're not giving that to the child. If you want to give that to the child, make sure you cook it and give it. Cook it, spice it, add a little bit of oil, ghee, and give that to the child. Yeah. And if you want to give a child something that is fried, deep fried, do not deep fry in oil, but deep fry in ghee. If you're making, dumplings, or, in India, if you're making vadas and such, use proper amount of ghee and cook in that, and that's going to be beneficial for the child. And in general, cooking in ghee is better than cooking in oil, right? And giving them some good eye exercises, making sure that they're closing their eyes and doing some eye exercises. These are all some things that you're going to be asking them to do. And my favorite dinacharya that you follow for your kids on a daily basis, which is going to be improving their eye health, is Abhyanga. And drishti is given. It's given in a sutra. Abhyanga, especially Padabhyanga. Pada and Shirabhyanga. Because there are some marma points that are in your feet that are connected to your eyes. So in the night, what I would tell you is to your child, go to your child, talk to them what has happened during the day, what did you do all day today, this is what I did. You talk to them, and then while you're doing that, you can just take their foot this way and take some ghee, good quality ghee, and then just apply it, rub it. Do that for about 10 minutes on each leg, especially on the sole of the feet. Do this and on even the ankles. And while you're at it, you can do, on the dorsal area as well. But mainly it is on the foot that you would want to do, on the plantar area. So that is what you can do. And applying on the scalp is also a good thing, because all of your senses are right here. You're lubricating it that way. So these are all the things that you would want to follow for your child, so that you can either prolong before they get glasses, or I have seen that there is reversal or arresting of what the increase of the number will not happen. In the clinics, what we do is we first create loose stools, and then we give them ghee internally, which is a ghee to like a rasayana, rejuvenation. And we make a dough around the eyes, and we do something called netra basti. We pour ghee into the eyes, and it burns, because there's a lot of pitta there, it burns. But we ask them to blink their eyes, and we are going to remove excessive pitta and kapha on that area as well. And we give internal medications that are like yashti and triphala. These are going to be beneficial rejuvenatives that are given internally to be able to remove whatever doshas that are present in the first layer and second layer. Once they reach a third layer or fourth layer, it's going to be very difficult for us to remove any of the doshas, because they've gone deeper, especially when it comes to cataracts. They have gone to deeper layers. So even Shushruta Samhita, they have recommended few surgeries to remove it, because they said it's asadhya. It is not possible for you to do things to remove it, but they have recommended few surgical procedures on what you have to do. And that's the reason why cataracts are done here. I think what if you come to me, that's what I would recommend, that get it removed, but then protect it going forward using all of these techniques. Right? So that is what I would recommend. How much gap between meals and fruit, Priyanka? At least 2 hours. Yeah. Yes, Debanti.
I had a question about Nasya. Can you do it just with sesame oil, or do you have to use specialized oil for Nasya?
So for eye protection, I wouldn't use sesame oil. I would actually prefer Anutailam. Because sesame oil is not as caustic enough. It does not have that much piercing effect. And that's the reason I wouldn't want just sesame oil.
Okay,
Uh,
that's specifically
Anutailam.
for eyes, specifically for eye relief, then you would use, okay.
Correct.
But if
Specifically,
that wasn't an issue, then you would use sesame oil?
you can use sesame oil, but if you're using it on a daily basis, why use sesame oil? Why not use Anutailam? Because it is safe for anybody and everybody. And for that reason, when you're doing that effort, why not do that effort with a proper medicine is my answer to that. You can, there's no problem with the sesame oil, especially because Taila by itself is not as beneficial for eyes. Right? And that is why I'm going to tell you that Anutailam is beneficial, because it has that proper combination. It has goat milk in it. It has all the Tikta dravyas in it. It is a balanced kind of a balanced kind of an oil, which is going to be beneficial. When you're doing that effort, why not do it with Anutailam, and why do it with the sesame oil is my answer to that. Yeah. Bhamini?
Shatbindu.
Shatbindu is mainly if you have lots of, it is even more caustic than Anutailam. Anutailam is something that is going to be, the Anutailam is something that is balanced than Shatbindu. Shatbindu is more if you have lots of sinuses. Then it is even more, has that piercing quality than Anutailam.
Oh, okay.
If there is more kapha, then Shatbindu is okay to use.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm going to be putting this link here. This Tatsat is something that I found. But be careful that it smudges for sure. Debanti, the eyeliner. I put that eyeliner on the link here. I have tried different ways. I think you have to use some powder so that it doesn't smudge. So you have to be careful when you use it for cosmetic purposes. Yeah. Yeah. So that is generally what I wanted to, share about eyes. But I wanted to answer all the questions because there were so many questions, and I couldn't answer a lot of questions there. So I wanted to answer any questions that that you all might have.
A quick question, Manjuji.
Yes.
Even though I know you said something which I relate to, but it's on behalf of my spouse.
Yeah.
What does one do if there is excessive tearing, like you get tears in the eyes? I believe that's kapha.
Yes. So if there's more tearing that is happening, then the best thing that I would ask you to do is something called kshalana. Netra kshalana is what we call. And this you can do it with Triphala water.
Yeah.
What you could do is you can get like half a teaspoon of Triphala
Mm-hmm.
in 1 cup of water,
Mm-hmm.
boil it till half a cup remains,
Mm-hmm.
filter that, and there are something called eye cups that are available in Walgreens and such. You
Yes.
pour, I mean, of course, bring it to room temperature. Do not use hot things into your eyes at all. Bring it to room temperature, pour it into these eye cups,
Mm-hmm.
and put it onto your eyes. It will burn. When it is burning, then it is removing the unnecessary pitta and kapha there, and you'll even tear more.
Yeah. You had given that to me a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
worked magically for me. And I know the procedure, and I have that eye cup as well.
Very good.
And strain it make it very clear through
Absolutely.
muslin cloth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want any of the particles to be irritating your eye.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you might feel some redness.
Mhm.
And you might feel some white accumulation. The doshas that are not necessary will come out as a white accumulation. You can remove it out.
Mhm.
And once you're done with the cleansing with this Triphala water, then you can cleanse it off with regular water as well. So
Yeah.
that there's no remnants of Triphala that is present in your eye and you're not irritating your eye.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, quick question.
Yes.
If Nasya is not done in the morning, say something comes up and you can't do the Nasya in the morning, can I do it in the evening?
Absolutely, yes. But
Or
don't
you
do
can
it
do
in the
Nasya at
night.
any time.
Don't
Okay.
do it in the night before you go to bed, though.
Okay.
I would say you can do it in the afternoon between lunch and dinner on empty stomach. That's okay. Yeah. Prasanna.
Hi, Manju. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. My question is about I have just okay eyesight. I tend to have progressive lenses, so I'm trying to see every year it's deteriorating. The power it's increasing, and I have to keep changing the glasses. So what in terms of general like maintenance or taking care of this situation, are there any recommendations from you?
Absolutely. One thing that I would ask you to do is make a paste of Triphala, which is half a teaspoon of Triphala. I'm going to just type it here. Triphala churna with 1 teaspoon honey and half teaspoon melted ghee, and consume at night, every night. This is a very good rasayana for eye strength. Yeah. And making sure that you're doing abhyanga, which we have discussed every day, especially to your pada, to your feet, pada abhyanga, and shiro abhyanga for your scalp. So a scalp, if you don't want to do it every day, it's okay. Especially for the feet, it's going to be beneficial. And as we discussed, Nasya, because as we grow older, it is the doshas that are being accumulated. And Nasya on a daily basis, you will be amazed to see how much of a difference you will see with your own eyesight. Nasya, which is instilling 2 to 3 drops into your nostrils, is something that's going to be very beneficial. And making sure that you do some eye exercises as well. And the Triphala Kwatha that I said, the Triphala Kshalana that I've asked you to do, this is also going to be beneficial for you to do it at least once a month. That way, generally you're cleansing your eyes every month and removing the doshas externally as well. And again, making sure that there is no constipation, clearing all of that, making sure that you're eating everything that is right. I mean, all of the things that we just spoke about today, eating everything right, not including some things that are not necessary. If you do that, I guarantee that you'll at least maintain. But then, of course, as age increases and mentally also you want to make sure, no, because there are a lot of pressures that your sense organs will go through if there is a lot of mental pressure as well. And you want to make sure that you're doing proper breath work. That is very, very important. Breath work, anulom vilom is very important. Do not do, bhastrika and the kapal bhati kind of things. If it is deterioration of eyesight due to, aging, for that reason, you want to do Anulom Vilom Pranayama, where you are calming down. You can do Bhramari Pranayama, where you're calming down and you're meditating, you're calming down. All of that will also give your sense organs a life force. Because how are your sense organs working? Even people who cannot see, they have eyes, no? The organ is present. But even though the organ is present, It is that element that is not allowing them to see. It is that life force that is not allowing them to see. So it is that spark that we have to maintain. And that spark is maintained by following all of these techniques. Unfortunately, there is not just one method that you can use. All of these combinations is something that you want to use. You know that I will never give one straight answer, right? Because Ayurveda always has side benefits only, not side effects. Because you follow this and you're taking care of your eyes, and you'll have benefits of all of these. But in general, when you're following eyes, that's why I gave you specifically for the eyes, and you follow this. Do this for 2 months, Prasanna, and you come back to me and you tell me if you have seen any difference with your eyesight. And one more important thing in Ayurveda, we have treatments called Panchakarma, especially Vamana and Virechana. These techniques are going to be beneficial to remove excessive kapha and removing pitta. These are the two techniques. However, if you do excessive of these, a lot of times people gain so much benefit from Panchakarma and they want to be clean and they do it every year, even though it's not necessary. If you do it more than necessary, then you're causing more dryness. You're increasing vata. So it's never, I get good ROI, I want to do more is not an answer. Balance is something that you want to do. So that's why doing all of these, but this rasayana, do this Triphala Churna with honey and ghee at night, and that is going to be beneficial for you. Triphala in general is very good for your eyes. Yeah. Hi, Jyoti.
Hi.
Hi.
I had a question. I joined in a little late. You probably have
Yes.
answered this already. I'm sorry if it.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, so you talked about, Triphala Churna in terms of treating, if you have like teary eyes, right? Like with the cup.
So if you're doing it for kshalana purpose, if there is excessive kapha and pitta, you can use that.
So with the same,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
would the same work for, if you have dry eye?
So dry eyes can be for two reasons, right? Dry eyes can be because of excessive heat. Dry eyes can be excessive because of excessive kapha as well. Because kapha has dried out, you have excessive vata, and that vata has dried out kapha. You have to be very sure to know why this dry eyes is from it. So for that, you have to go back to your causative factors. If your causative factors include excessive talking, walking, excessive exposure to heat, you're angry, you're irritable, or you're exposing yourself to sauna or so much heat so much, and you're including a lot of hot, spicy food, then that is because of heat. Then this Triphala Kshalana is going to increase more dryness because you're already more dry because of depletion. In that case, you want to use ghee in the night. You want to instill melted ghee in the night so that you are making sure that it is all lubricated. But if the dry eyes is because you've indigestion, you are eating excessive food than your capacity, you have a sedentary lifestyle, you're eating cold foods, you're eating raw salads, you've probably eaten incompatible food combination, you've probably eaten like sprouts and such, which means there's indigestion. But there is also excessive vata where you're talking too much and you're traveling too much, and that has dried out that excessive kapha, and it has created a layer, and it has created an illusion that it's dry eyes. Then kshalana is beneficial. I know, sorry, I told you I will never give you a straight answer, because if I give you one answer only, then you'll go and use that, and that's going to be not beneficial for you. So it's very important to know why the dry eyes are happening, understand the cause, look at the symptoms, and then you can always do a test method to see which one is also helping you. That's also possible. Yeah, absolutely. Any other? Is hot pack recommended? Absolutely not, Nitish. No hot pack at all to your eyes. Eyes must be protected from heat. For styes and such, I know that hot pack is recommended for styes. In that case, instead of using a hot pack, what you can do is, you can put a tissue or a cloth under water, like warm water, and that warmth is enough. Or you can just rub your palms, and that heat is enough. You wouldn't want to expose just because you want the stye to go away. You cannot put hot pack on it because that's going to be affecting. What is chikitsa? Chikitsa is something that will not cause any problem to the other organ. So no hot pack to your eyes. Is there any special treatment to reduce the eye prescription number? Yes, we spoke about that. How about castor oil? How are you going to use it, Bhamini? Castor oil? Is it internally? Is that what you're asking?
No, applying it on the eyes.
I wouldn't recommend it. For eyelashes, absolutely good. Eyelashes and eyebrows, it's going to be good, but not for eye health.
Okay.
Yeah. Ghee is the best.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Debanti.
Perhaps I missed this, but you mentioned that sprouts weren't great or sprouted foods weren't great for eyes. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Sprouts are called as virudha in Ayurveda. Virudha is something, if it is in a seed form, it has a certain energy. If it's transformed into a plant, then it's a different energy. In a sprout, it is an in-between energy, right? Just like how you're taking off in a plane, you're on the ground, you're comfortable. You're fully in the air, you're comfortable. Somewhere in between, you're uncomfortable. Because sprouts has that kind of energy where they're not fully emerged and they're not completely just as a seed. So this has latent heat in it, and this latent heat is not going to be beneficial for eyes. And in general, this is known to increase a lot of doshas in the body. You can cook it though. I know it's you raise your brows because these in India, I know that along with newspaper, they give sprouts also along with newspaper because it's good for you. I don't know where that came out from, but you can cook them and eat it. Once you cook them, then you're reducing the latent heat and you're making it easier for digestion. But Virudha is especially mentioned in Ayurveda that it's going to be not beneficial for eye health.
So even things like microgreens or like alfalfa, all of that not good for eyes?
So alfalfa is something that you wouldn't want to eat it for regular health. You can eat it for fun. That is not something, and you can eat it for some life force and some fun. That's not something that you're going to be eating on a daily basis, Debanti, because it does not have a lot of substance. When you're eating foods, you want to eat something that is strong enough to be able to convert your plasma, blood, muscle, all the way to your reproductive juices. Alfalfa does not have that much capacity to be staying all the way until it becomes your eye health is dependent on your Majja Dhatu, which is just before your Shukra Dhatu, which is your sixth tissue. It does not have that capacity to withstand until that Majja Dhatu. So it's going to be okay. You can have it for fun. I'm not going to say that it's going to be, harmful for your eyes. Yeah. Ghee directly into the eye. Yeah. So there are two things, Shalini. The Triphala, honey and ghee is for consumption. You're eating it. You're not putting it in your eyes. Very important, all of you.
Yes, yeah.
It's for consumption.
Yeah.
Ghee by itself, you're melting it and you're putting it in your eyes.
Oh, that's okay to do?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never done it.
Make sure that it does not have any particles.
Okay.
Make sure that it is not hot,
Mm-hmm.
but it is melted fully.
And I'm a senior citizen. It's okay to do that.
Oh, very, very good. It's
Okay.
much, much better.
Okay.
You apply one drop. Or what you can do is you can just put a pinky and just put a drop underneath your eyelids. Do that once
Okay.
and try it once, and you see how it will help you.
Okay.
Do it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Paige is asking, what if eye is twitching? So twitching eyes is increase in vata. And for that also, ghee in the eyes is going to be beneficial because you're then reducing the vata. And doing all the things that will reduce vata is important, which means if you're exercising a lot more than your capacity, if you're talking more than your capacity, if you're eating more drying foods, if you're eating more salads, then you're increasing air element in your body. And you don't want to increase more air element in the body. You want to reduce all of it. Again, Ayurveda always talks about removing things that are causing the problem first, then adding things, right? So observe all of that, remove it, and then you can, insert ghee, instill ghee into your eyes and see what happens. If it still does not help, then you seek expert help to see if there's any underlying condition that is causing the eye twitching. I might have to address the underlying condition, and then we can probably do netra basti, or making a dough, making a dam and pouring lots of ghee in there to help stabilize it. Yeah.
¿Te gusta Yasmin?
Yeah.
I'm going to mute you. Good. So that's eye health for all of you. Yeah, absolutely. You can connect with us and we'll take care of that eye treatment for you. Or first apply the ghee in your eyes and see how that helps for you. Absolutely. Amazing. I hope that this was beneficial and it will be good for your eye health. And Prasanna, absolutely watch it and let us know in 2 months how you feel, and we'll see. And again, give me any topics that you would like for me to talk. That way it's easier for us to come up with topics and talk about it. Anything that's a burning topic for you, please let me know. And thank you so much for joining, all of you, at 7:30 on a Monday evening. And I know some of you are joining from far away from East Coast. Thank you so much for joining. And I will see you again next month.
Thank you.
Thank
Can
you.
we talk about indigestion next time?
Indigestion, we have to be specific on what indigestion. Absolutely. We can talk about indigestion and we'll see what comes up.
All right. Thank you so much. It was very useful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Very
Thank you
good.
very much.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.